guys, it's Patricia and today we are discussing the Fall and Winter 2019 fragrance selection for the upcoming Scentsy catalog. So what we'll do is I will talk about new releases first, then we're going to go back into the transition scents that are returning. Then we're going to touch on which ones did not come back from last year. And also we are going to discuss which scents are leaving us as of August 31st. So we've got a lot to do. Let's get into it. Remember, these are just cold sniffs. Everything is much more dependent on warm. Starting in about 2 or 3 weeks, Tester Tuesdays will have the new releases. We'll start warming through those. And I encourage you to watch as many people's videos as possible because you want multiple opinions. And to be frank, I find that I did a live video the other night and I smelled the new releases for sniffs. And I re-smelled them this morning and some of them definitely smell different than what I remember. So things can smell differently after you've had some time. But let's get into the new releases. We're gonna do Blood Orange Spice first. This is a spicy scent. The scent notes on this are candied apple, blood orange puree, and cinnamon stick. And on my live video, I loved this one. It's funny, it's gone down in scent appeal just a touch for me. You can smell like a candy vibe, and you can smell like an apple scent, and you can smell a spice, and a little bit of citrus from that blood orange. It kind of reminds me if they took one jump ahead and made a fall version of it. That is Blood Orange Spice, a dark red wax. The next one is a brown wax of Brownie Batter. The scent notes for Brownie Batter are baked brownie, cocoa powder, and vanilla bean. This is a very strong scent. It smells like a heavy chocolate, almost like the melted chocolate as you're adding it into the brownie batter. You can't get a lot of vanilla. Vanilla is probably just taking a supporting role in this, but you definitely smell cocoa and chocolate, reminiscent of something like a chocolate layer cake from Yankee, a very strong, dominant scent. This is probably going to be an outstanding performer in terms of strength. Sometimes chocolate scents don't last as long. That is Brownie Batter. The next one we're going to discuss is Candied Cranberry Pecan. This is a soft red wax. The scent notes are cranberry, pecans, sugar cane, and brandied plum. And it's definitely it's reminding me of something. I feel like I can smell brandy and candy, almost like those ribbon candies. But there's definitely not much pecans to me. And there's like a little spice, but it's not cinnamon. It's almost like something combined with cinnamon. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this one. It's in the bakery category, as was Brownie Batter, but I don't find this very bakery at all. I find it more fruity. That is Candied Cranberry Pecan. And the cranberry is not very tart. It's not very like overly in your face. I find it slightly muted. The next one is called Fiddle Leaf Fig. It is a green wax in the fresh category. The scent notes are wild fern, mission fig, crushed rosemary, and coconut water. Now this is definitely green but viney. It reminds me a little bit of tomato vine, maybe minus some of the sap and the tomato influence. I don't really get rosemary. Rosemary is very pungent, and this is pungent but almost in a wild fern and the mission fig. The mission fig, I'm wondering if it's like the green part of the fig and not so much the fig itself. And coconut water is probably just a blender. This is very strong and it's very fresh, like a distant cousin to tomato vine. If you like that kind of scent, then you want to pick up Fiddle Leaf Fig. The next one is in the spicy category. It's first day of fall. The scent notes for this one are just picked pumpkin, autumn woods, ground nutmeg, and a dash of cinnamon. This one is a really nice, well-rounded fall, typical fall autumnal scent. Probably one of my favorites of the bunch here. It's a nice blend. When I say a nice blend, it means everything harmonizes together. You can smell the cinnamon. You can smell like other spices, which nutmeg is in there. You can smell a little bit of a brightness from the autumn woods. This is good. And the pumpkin. This is very, very nice. That is first day of fall, probably about a medium intensity. Looking forward to that one. The next one is in the citrus category. It's a pink wax called Grapefruit and Grenadine. And the scent notes of this are sparkling grapefruit, juicy pomegranate, and orange peel. Zesty orange peel. Woo, and it's definitely zesty. I like this one better when I smelled it again. It's like a pomegranate, something like a perfectly pomegranate or a dazzling pomegranate. You don't really get like a lot of sparkling or bubbling, but you get that brightness, and then you get like a grapefruit, kind of similar to Citrus Garden. You put them together. It's a bright, bright scent. Some people might say not very fall and winter, but this would be something that I think they're getting at the alcohol and the beverage, that kind of thing at New Year's. This would be great on a cleaning day. This would be great when you need a break from the spice, transitioning into spring. This is a good one. I'm excited to warm it. It's grapefruit and grenadine. The next one is a dark purple wax called Huckleberry Wreath. The scent notes on this are crimson, red currant, huckleberries, and frosted fir. And this one's like a light to medium scent. It definitely can pick up like a frosted sage or fir note. To me, it's more sage. Huckleberry is very tart. A muted huckleberry. What else is in it? Currant. I don't really smell currant. It almost makes your nose like a little bit tingly. That is Huckleberry Wreath. Somewhat of a spin-off of Huckleberry Sage, but Huckleberry Sage is a lot brighter. The next one is a fresh scent called I'm Snow Over It. The scent notes on this are sage, whispering pine, cedarwood, and bright berries. Okay, so this is a light to medium scent. A little bit stronger than I smelled it the other night. You can smell, it almost reminds me of if you took lavender and white balsam and took away the lavender. A little bit like that. Or a little bit along the lines of Olaf, Warm Hugs. Tiny bit along that vibe. This is very nice. I think this is kind of my type of scent. But it doesn't, it's not super outstanding to me, but I am very excited to warm this one because I am interested to see how this one's going to play out. Nice fresh scent for like those wintry days. Then the next one we have is in the spicy category called Maple Apple Bourbon. This one is juicy red apple, rich maple, and a splash of bourbon. I'm not a big maple fan, but this one here, I like this one. Everything is kind of well-rounded. Again, we don't have an abundance of maple. You can definitely smell it. But you get that apple. And the bourbon is almost giving it a warmth. I don't smell like a boozy tone, but I smell a nice warmth. Almost like when you drink the bourbon and it kind of burns down. That kind of warmth. But in a good way. That is about a medium intensity scent. It's Maple Apple Bourbon. So the last one in the new release category is Stroopwafel Delight. This one here is based on a Dutch treat. It's described with scent notes of vanilla, melted butter, and cinnamon. And this is in the bakery category, and it definitely screams bakery. Not an overwhelming sweet scent. I don't really smell cinnamon. If cinnamon is in here, it's taking a back seat, very back seat. You smell a lot of butter and bakery, like the creamy bakery vanilla tone. Very similar to butter pecan, probably not as sweet. That is Stroopwafel Delight, and I would say it's about a medium intensity. Next ones we're going to do is go through the returning scents in alphabetical order. The first one we have is apple and cinnamon sticks. This is in the spicy category. Scent notes are apple peel, spiced white pumpkin, and a touch of oak. And this one is definitely strong. You can smell like the oak. It gives it a nice rich scent. It's a strong performer. You can smell apple. There's definitely cinnamon when you warm this sucker, and you can smell that special white pumpkin, which is different than regular pumpkin. It's hard to describe, but it has like a softness compared to regular pumpkin. That is apple and cinnamon sticks. The next one we have is Autumn Hearth, which is also in the spice category, described as apple, cinnamon, and tonka. And this one is a favorite of my mother's. This one screams fall. It's a little bit more craft store fall with that cinnamon. It's a little more intense. You can smell the apple. Tonka is kind of a variation, kind of along the vanilla vibe. You don't really get a lot of that in here. but this is a nice one. I'm happy to see that that one's come back. I don't know if a lot of people picked that one up. The next one is Autumn Sunset, a dark purple wax, also in the spicy category. This one is Apples, Pumpkins, and Spices. And this one is definitely like a fall potpourri. You can definitely get the spices take a front seat on this one, and the apple and pumpkins take a back seat. A little bit of the apple and pumpkin and a lot of spice. That is Autumn Sunset. The next one we have is Be Merry. And Be Merry was a scent of the month for November of last year. This is described as pine boughs, holly leaf, and cassis. And this one screams Christmas to me because you get that beautiful berry, pomegranate, cranberry vibe, and you get like the pine and holly together. It's about 50-50 fruit and tree. This one is a great scent. That is Be Merry, and it's strong. Also returning from a scent of the month is Butter Pecan. This is in the bakery category. It's described as candied pecan, maple, and butter. And you definitely get like the maple and butter together. It's a strong scent. The pecan just gives a little bit of nuttiness in the background, but you definitely get a lot of that butter. Rich butter with the maple. That is Butter Pecan. Nice and strong, kind of along a vanilla tone vibe. Also in the bakery category, we have Caramel Vanilla Delight. This one is vanilla ice cream, caramel, and white rum. I love this one. This is a really nice one. You get caramel and a lot of vanilla and just a hint of rum, not too much. This is a great performer. It lasts and lasts. That is Caramel Vanilla Delight in the bakery category. Okay, so in the woods category, this next scent is a scent that all my family members like. It's the only scent that they all have commented that they like, and it is the brown wax of cedar cider. The scent notes on this are apples, cinnamon sticks, vanilla beans, and white cedar. So it's almost like a cider scent with a little bit of woodsy notes. So let's see. This is so nice. I describe this as a sophisticated fall scent. If you want to impress company, put this in. It's got all the aspects of fall that you love. It's got cinnamon, apples, pumpkin, and a little bit of woodsy all rolled into one. That is a great one, cedar cider. The next one is in the woods category as well, but it could also be kind of a fresh woods. It is Christmas Cactus, the green, bright green wax, and this one is agave nectar, citrus, and Siberian fir. Yeah, and this one is like a bright Christmas scent. You can smell Siberian fir, but that citrus lifts it up, and it's just really, really nice. The agave gives it some sweetness. It does change a little bit as you warm it. Some people don't like it as it changes, so it depends on how soon you change out your wax if you're going to pick up that change, but that is Christmas Cactus. Returning from last year. This one's been around a while. It's in the spicy category, and it is Christmas Cottage. It's a red wax, and for some reason, the tester looks a little bit like foggy. I'm not really sure why that is. It must just be the way the sticker, there's the wax color. This is Valencia oranges, raspberries, cloves, and spices. And it doesn't mention cinnamon, but this is very cinnamon dominant. You get citrus, a little bit of raspberry, just a nice blend. This one is a strong one, and it is lasted the test of time because it's a good one. It is Christmas Cottage. The next one returning is Cider Mill. This is an orange wax. Cider Mill is in the spice category. It's basically apples, pumpkin, and spices. And this is a sweet cider scent. Definitely sweet, but delicious. You get like that apple, and you get the spices, but they're perfect. They are just like a low to medium. Very nice. A lot of people love this scent, including myself. I am really coming around to this one. It is Cider Mill. The next one we will discuss is Cinnamon Bear. This one is actually a bestseller in the spice category. It's basically spicy cinnamon and a touch of cloves. And they used to have reminiscent of the red hot candy, but they took that part of the scent description out. But that's pretty much what you get here. It's very strong, astringent, red hot. You can feel it in your nose when you take a deep sniff. And it's a very strong performer. That is Cinnamon Bear. Ironically, I don't sell a lot of that, but it's a top seller. So anyway, The next one we're going to discuss is Clove and Cinnamon, also in the spice category. Basically cinnamon sticks and cloves. Yeah, and you can definitely pick up more clove in this one than some of the other scents, and that's why it's got the cinnamon and clove. So if you really like clove with some cinnamon, then this is the one you want to pick up. This is Clove and Cinnamon Brown Wax. The next one I'm really happy to see back from last year, and it is the Blushing Pink Colored Wax of Cozy Cardigan, and this is in the fresh category. The scent notes on this are soft suede, blushing rose, and amber silk. Oh my gosh. This is such a nice scent. It's romantic, it's fragrant and soft. It reminds me of like a fancy boutique. If you went into a fancy boutique in a hotel, this scent would be coming through the air. It screams fanciness. Oh, this is so nice. That is Cozy Cardigan. The next one is Cozy Fireside, which is in the spicy category, I believe. And it's basically warm spice, ginger, and cinnamon. And you definitely get ginger, and you can get a smokiness too, which they don't mention, and cinnamon. Very strong on the cinnamon. Definitely strong. Definitely spicy. That is Cozy Fireside, a dark red colored wax. The next one is Cranberry Garland, which is in the woods category. It's a dark red wax. This is cranberry, sage, and pine cones. This is a really nice scent. You definitely get cranberry, tart cranberry. You get a little bit of pine, not very much at all. And sage is an okay sage for me. I'm typically not a big sage fan. This is a dark maroon wax, Cranberry Garland in the woods category. I like that one. All right, the next one we have is in the fresh category. It's a bright blue wax, and it is called Eskimo Kiss. This one is basically blackberry jam, brown sugar, vanilla, and amber. And this is a kind of a conceptual scent. It's a little bit different, but man, is it good. And it lasts a long time. So I don't really think it smells like blackberries. It smells like a mixture of things that come together to give you a perfumey, bright, sweet scent. A little bit like almost like a dusty tone or a powdery tone to it, but fresh as well. This is so nice. Very hard to describe, but worth picking up. That is Eskimo Kiss. Like I said, it lasts a long time in the warmer. The next one we have is House Fir. This one is returning from last fall and winter, and it is fir needle, cedarwood, and grapefruit. It's in the woods category. And you definitely get like a fir with a twist. And I think it's that grapefruit that kind of sneaks in there. It doesn't, if you didn't know it was grapefruit from reading the scent description, I don't know if you would pick up on that. This one is definitely heavy on the cedarwood, so it's not all fir. It's got the cedarwood and then the splash of grapefruit to kind of change it up a little bit. That is House Fir. Probably about a medium intensity on cold sniff. The next one we have is Farm Stand Pumpkin. Farm Stand Pumpkin is in the spice category. It's an orange wax. This is basically apple, cinnamon stick, pumpkin, and caramel. So the caramel kind of differentiates this from some of the other scents. Yeah, it's almost like a pumpkin, like a more natural pumpkin, with the addition of caramel. Not a whole lot of cinnamon and just a touch of apple. The next one we have is in the bakery category. It's a brown wax. It's called Gingerbread Donut. This one is golden gingerbread, spiced donut, and vanilla bean. Yeah, and I find that it's just maybe like donut and vanilla bean half, and then gingerbread half. Or it could even be donut and vanilla bean like a little more than half. The spice characteristic doesn't seem as strong this year as in bars past. I'm not sure. That is Gingerbread Donut. Great one for fall or like a cold winter day. And if you're hungry, put this one in. The next one we have is a very pretty blue wax. We don't see a lot of dark blue waxes. This one is Homestead Holiday, and this is winning people over slowly over time. It's blood orange, cinnamon, and fir needle. And this one here is very nice. That blood orange is perfect with the fir. and a little bit of cinnamon. This screams Christmas, so much so that this is the scent I always warm either Christmas Eve going into Christmas or on Christmas Day as well. That is a really nice one, Homestead Holiday. All right, the next one is one that's been around a while. It's in the fruity category. It's yellow, and it is honey pear cider. This one has juicy pear, honey, and spices. And I know from memory that I really like this one. Oh, and I love pear scents, so we don't see them a lot, but this is so, so nice. Yeah, it's a perfect pear, and then they make it like a fall version by putting a little bit of like that cider, spice kind of vibe. And this one is just so good. The honey, if you're scared of honey, don't be, because it doesn't scream a honey to me. It just screams a sweet pear with a little bit of softened cider spices. That one's really, really nice. The next one is a light brown wax called Hug in a Mug. This one here is in the bakery category. It's basically chocolate, hazelnut, and cookie dough. This one is very reminiscent of hot cocoa and cream from Bath & Body Works. If you smelled that, this one is somewhat similar. It's almost like you take the hot chocolate and you add like a little bit of marshmallow to cream it out a little bit. It's not like a bang in your face chocolate. Not like Brownie Batter. It's a softened version with that cookie dough. Yeah, it does kind of smell like you're making cookie dough in the background when you're drinking hot chocolate. That's what it smells like. That is Hug in a Mug. A very nice warm scent. It's a pretty strong scent, but it may not last as long as some of the other scents, but it's very, very nice when you have it going. The next one is called Iced Pine, and this one is in the fresh category. Basically, it is described as fir, pine, and peppermint. This is one of my favorites. I really like the addition of the peppermint. It just brightens it up a little bit from a normal Christmas tree scent. It's very, very strong. If you don't like strong scents, you might want to steer away from iced pine. Great for people that need a little bit of Christmas tree scent. If you have an artificial tree, that's a good one to have, and you like strong scents. The next one we have is in the fresh category called Perfect Peppermint. It's a white wax. This one is basically pure peppermint. And I like this one, but it reminds me a little bit of a softened peppermint. It's not extremely astringent, and I feel like there's a touch of vanilla in here, even though it doesn't say it. But it's nice. This is a perfect mixer scent, or if you love peppermint, warm this on its own. That is Perfect Peppermint. The next one we have is an orange wax of Porch Pumpkin. This is in the woods category. I would also say you could put this it's kind of like a fresh pumpkin kind of scent. It's basically fresh picked pumpkin, acorn, and autumn air. So when you smell this, you get mostly fresh pumpkin, and then the nuttiness that I think an acorn is giving. And you don't get a lot of autumn air. I said this before, I almost get like graham wafers in here, but that is just my nose. That is Porch Pumpkin, probably like a medium intensity, and I really, really like this mixed with Johnny Appleseed. So the next one we have is definitely one of my favorites. It is Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, and this one is in the spicy category. And this is pumpkin, cinnamon stick, and vanilla icing. And if you like the smell of a Cinnabon, then you might like this. This is like a pumpkin twist on a cinnamon bun. You don't get a lot of pumpkin, just a touch. It's almost like they took apple butter frosting and put like a little bump of pumpkin in that one. If you like apple butter frosting and you don't mind just a touch of pumpkin, then pick up Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. And the cinnamon is not boom in your face. That vanilla icing sweetens it up and softens it up quite a bit. The next one we have is Pumpkin Roll, and I really, really like this one from memory as well. It's in the bakery category. It's described as pumpkin pie, yellow cake, pecans, butter, and spice. This one reminds me of a pumpkin roll. So like a pumpkin roll cake that you roll. It's got the cream cheese icing and the dusting of powdered sugar on the top. That's what this reminds me of. It's so nice. A little bit stronger to me than Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl. A little bit more cinnamon, but you get that yellow cake. A little bit more bakery than Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl because of the yellow cake and the pumpkin. So that is Pumpkin Roll. I don't even really like pumpkin that much, but I love that one. The next one we have is called Red Cedar and Sage, and this is in the woodsy category. It's a light green wax returning from last year. It is red cedar, sage, and fresh forest greens. It's very earthy and herbal. This one here is not my favorite, I'll be honest. I've talked about this one before. To me, it's a little bit masculine, but not too much. Very herbal and earthy, and almost like a musty tone. That is red cedar and sage, but it has returned, so there's definitely people out there that like it. The next one is probably in my top 5 Scentsy scents. I just love this next one. It's the silver colored wax of Silver Bells, and this one is in the fresh category. I will read you the notes. Basically, mint candy canes, winter pear, caramel, and vanilla sugar. And this is perfection. I love it. Oh my gosh, this is so good. It's like a soft mint, a very soft mint, almost like a powdery tone to it with those 2 sugars. The pear is just there, I think, for sweetness. Doesn't jump out at me. This is such a nice scent. You must pick this one up if you haven't tried this before. It is Silver Bells. It is a light to medium scent, but it is oh so good. And in fact, I found a car bar that I had of it. I had the car bar in my sock drawer. I said, oh my gosh, it still scents a little bit. So I did my shove it in the vent technique. And as I was driving, just today, I could smell Silver Bells. It got me really excited for its return. So the next one we have is called Snowberry. And Snowberry is in the fruity category, I believe. Yes, it's got loganberry, strawberry, peppermint, and cinnamon. And I don't really find, you can pick up cinnamon when it's warmed on occasion. It has to be like that right moment when you walk by. It's very, very fruity with peppermint, and then sometimes cinnamon and sometimes not. This one's really nice. I don't even know if people would know there's cinnamon in this, but if you pay close attention, sometimes you can smell it. That is Snowberry. It's a white wax, and it is a really good scent in the fruity category. The next one is called Vanilla Mint, and this one here is in the fresh category. It's a white wax as well. This one is Wintergreen Frost, Vanilla, and Frozen Citrus. And this one here, oh, I love the scent on this. The scent appeal is like 9.5 out of 10 for me. It is a lighter scent. It is a soft vanilla with a minty spearmint and a citrus all blended together. And this is so, so nice. Great for a small area. And if you put it in a small zone, it will last you a long time at a softer intensity. That is Vanilla Mint. Then we have Very Merry Cranberry, which is in the fruity category. This one is basically winter berries and cedar. Yeah, you can definitely get the berries and obviously the cranberry. I think there's pomegranate kind of tone in here as well. And not too much cedar. From my memory, this is very fruity on warm. That is Very Merry Cranberry. We're almost done. Is Very Snowy Spruce. This is a light green wax. This is basically a bestseller. And it is balsam, spruce, and cedar branches, as well as pine cones. Yeah, this is a very, you're going to pick out your Christmas tree in the tree lot. Or you need a Christmas tree scent in your house. You want to either pick something like this or maybe iced pine. This is a softer version in my opinion, probably a little bit more palatable. Maybe just a little bit more soft than iced pine, but that is Very Snowy Spruce. And to wrap things up in the fruity category, we have the dark maroon colored wax, purple wax of Winterberry Apple Tea. This is a returning scent from last year. It was a fan favorite. It is described as winter tea, cranberry, apple, and honey. Oh, this is so good. If you like sweet plum pastry, it's very similar to that, but remove the pastry part. A lot of people like mixing this with honey pear cider. I think Mr. Kong's mom came up with that one on her own, but this is a really good one. It is Winterberry Apple Tea. So what I thought I'd do is maybe just mention what ones I really like from the new releases, maybe my top 3, and maybe my top 6 from each of the fall and the winters. So I would say, if you would have asked me the other day, I would have said Blood Orange Spice, but I don't know. I think that one's gone down on my scent appeal list, but I would say definitely favorites for the new releases are First Day of Fall, Grapefruit and Grenadine, And maybe I'm gonna actually surprise myself and say maple apple bourbon. Those might be the three I like. I also really like, I think I'm gonna like, I'm snow over it, and I think I'm gonna like blood orange spice, but I love chocolate scents too. I mean, there's a few that maybe I don't like, but if I was gonna pick a 6-pack for fall, I would probably pick Cedar Cider, Cider Mill, and Honey Pear Cider. I love cider and fruit type scents for fall. I would probably definitely go with Pumpkin Roll. I would probably also want to smell Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, because it's a nice spicy version of a Cinnabon, pumpkin Cinnabon. And then I kind of think of this more as a fall and winter, so I'm going to say Winterberry Apple Tea. So those would be my fall scents. And my winter picks would probably be Iced Pine, Homestead Holiday, gotta go with Silver Bells, Snowberry, because it's so different, Be Merry, because it's very Christmas to me, this screams Christmas, and just because it's a great performer and very unique, Eskimo Kiss. I'd probably give 3 honorable mentions. Definitely honorable mention, or I don't know, I probably should have included this one, Caramel Vanilla Delight. That is a great one. And if you're someone that likes lighter scents, I would say Vanilla Mint and Cozy Cardigans would be great choices. Great choices. So let me just quickly go over the scents that are not returning from last year. I'll just read them off to you. We have Cozy Chai, not returning, Dazzling Pomegranate, Grandma's Orchard, Hollyberry Cinnamon, Love and Happiness, sad about that one, Painted Leaves, sad about that one as well, Palo Santo, Scarlet Woods, Snow Place Like Home, Sweet Cream Spice, and Toffee Butter Crunch. Sad about that one too. Now, just to quickly go over the spring and summer scents that are retiring, and some of these scents are not spring and summer, so they are retiring. So keep note, if you like any of these scents, stock up or put them in your Scentsy Club. I will go through them quickly. We have Accidentally in Love, Aloha Citrus, Ariel Under the Sea, Atlantic Air, Be My Honey, Belle Enchanted Rose, Berry of Paradise, Bonfire Beach, Camo Camo, Candy Crave, Caramel Sugar Cone, Cinderella Happily Ever After, Do We or Don't We, Farmer's Market, Havana Cabana, Honeymoon Hideaway, that's kind of a shocker, 100 Acre Wood, Johnny Appleseed, which I wish they would keep all year round, but anyway, Just Keep Swimming, Lemon Sorbet and Lemon Verbena, Lilacs and Violets, Lucky in Love, Lush Gardenia, Mojito Mambo, Mulan True to Your Heart, My Dear Watson, Ocean, Oodles of Orange, Paradise Punch, Pina Colada Cha-Cha, Pineapple Coconut Vanilla, Pineapple Pucker, Rainforest Bungalow, Satin Sheets, Shimmer, Skinny Dippin', Southern Sweet Tea, Strawberry Taffy, Sugar, Summer Holiday, Sweet Pea and Vanilla, hopefully that will return, I'd be shocked if it didn't, Tropic Tango, Waves and Wonders, and White Tea and Cactus. So lots of changes going on in Scentsy. Make sure you set up a Scentsy Club if you need help with that. Either ask your consultant or ask me. I like to keep on top of those things. Let me know what ones you're excited about, because I always like to know what you guys are thinking. Thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. Hopefully you get something out of this video. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.